Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am Stephanie. I blog over at thisintentionalhome.com. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That way you will get notified whenever I create a new video. So today I am wanting to talk about summer poetry. I love poetry, and I just wanted to talk about how we can incorporate poetry into our summer. I know some people take off the summer, some people keep on going. But either way, I really feel like it's such a good idea to add a little bit of poetry into your day. So why add poetry? One, I think you should add poetry because it kind of sets the tone for your house. It sets the atmosphere of the home to focus on good and beautiful things, to focus on beautiful words, and it'll really help set the tone for your day, whether you do it in the morning or the afternoon. Reading poetry is such an easy way to get a little bit of learning into your summer. If you're taking the summer off, that just adds a little bit of something that has to do with school, but that is so simple and easy to do. And if you're just doing year-round like I do, it just makes summer and your learning a little bit more fun to focus on summer things, summer activities through poetry. So reading poetry also helps your kids to notice more whenever they're out in nature. Maybe they would have just walked right on by a flower or something, but then they remember the poem that you read that morning, and so they look at it a little bit differently, pay a little bit closer attention. So it's going to make them be more aware of when they're out exploring nature on hikes in the summer, swimming, walking next to a flower or a caterpillar. Maybe it'll make them pay attention a little bit more and recall that poem that you did that morning. Lastly, it'll help your kids focus on goodness, beauty, and positivity. Poems just have a way of making you feel good when you read them and making you take longer to really focus on what is beautiful. It's also going to give them a taste for beautiful words. It's going to set their appetites. You know, if you're having steaks and delicious food all the time, you start to get a taste for that, and then more food that is more subpar is not tasting as good. It's the same thing with poetry. If we're getting them used to these beautiful words, beautiful ways to express themselves, that's what they're gonna like. That's what they're gonna be used to, and it's also gonna increase their vocabulary. It's gonna, instead of like I keep on talking about it like a flower. So it's gonna give them extra words to use whenever they see that flower that they may not have known about before. And it might also inspire them to write their own poem, write their own poetry. So those are a few reasons why you should be adding poetry into your summer. All right, some tips for adding poetry into your summer routine. One, just keep it simple. There's no need to feel like you need to do this big, huge poetry tea time if you don't have the time or energy for that. Just make it really simple. I know I can get really easily overwhelmed if I tend to be like a perfectionist, and so if I can't do something really big like how I envision it in my head, I just don't do it. But I really need to break free of that and just do what I can. So if all you can do is just read a poem and pour some juice, go ahead and do that. That's all that you need to do. Just keep it simple. So 2, along those lines, just get a fun juice. We like to do smoothies in the summer. In the winter, we always pour tea when we read poetry. But in the summer, we do smoothies just to make it a little bit more fun. You don't even have to do smoothies. You could just pour some juice or water or milk. And then we also do a little snack, so popcorn, some candy or something they don't normally get, just to make it fun. Another tip is to add a little bit of beauty to what you're doing. So maybe have the kids go run outside and pick some flowers and put it in a little mason jar or something and just set it on the table. Also, tip number 3 or 4, I don't know what I'm on. You could get a blanket and go sit outside and read the poetry. And plus, being outside, the poems that you're reading are probably have to do with being outside. So maybe you could read the poem and then go look and try to find something. So with all of that being said, my most recent blog post, I wrote out 40 summer poems. So I wanted to have a really comprehensive, really well done list of summer poetry. I'm going to link like 5 of them, or show you 5 of them here in a second, that if you just want to go ahead and get started right now, or you just want to go ahead and you could like screenshot those if you're on your phone that I'm getting ready to show you, or you can go over to my blog post at thisintentionalhome.com. I'll link it in the bottom, and you can just go ahead and get started with those poems. I think your kids will really love them and have a really good time reading them together. My kids absolutely love our poetry time and look forward to it all the time. So I hope this has inspired you to add poetry into your summer. Make sure that you like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking the time to watch. And if you have Instagram, please go on over to my Instagram. It's thisintentional.home. Follow along. I would love to get to know you better. Bye.